Hey everybody, it's Jeff Duggins with H2O Designs. Today we're going to walk you through a spring clean out. Spring's here, winter's over with, or hopefully over with anyway. And today we're cleaning one of our ponds out at the store. We're going to show you how things are going on. Notice all the algae and stuff on the rocks, all the debris that's built up all through the winter time. It's just a nasty pond environment for the fish to get started with in the spring. So the things you'll need for your spring clean out: you're going to need a pressure washer, you're going to need a pump, you're going to need a tank to put the fish in, and you're going to need some water treatments and a net to catch the fish. So where we do about 100 clean outs a year, we have a nice quality tank, a sump pump, or a clean out pump we call it, that's dedicated specifically for clean outs. It pumps really fast. If you're a homeowner trying to do your own clean out, you don't need all this fancy equipment. You can use the pump out of your skimmer that runs your waterfall and just get some hose and some adapters to use that for pumping the water out. You can just use any kind of pressure washer. You don't need a lot of pressure because we're not trying to get the pond crystal clear. We're just trying to knock the heavy debris stuff. Now, another thing you're going to want is an aerator to put in the tank to keep the fish healthy. This time of year where we're doing this 50 or 60 degrees, it's not real important to keep the oxygen level going, but as you get into 75 and 70 and 80 degree weather, that oxygen is going to get depleted pretty quickly, especially if you're not doing the clean out in a timely manner. So you want to make sure that oxygen's going. First thing we've already started with this pond, I should say, is your pond's kind of water's clear, but the algae stuff's on the bottom. You can reuse the pond water. So what we've done here is we pumped the top foot and a half of water out into the tank. We're going to take the fish out of the pond, put them into the tank so they stay safe and healthy while we're doing the clean out. It's less stressful to use the pond water to keep the fish in versus put them in fresh tap water. So you always want to do that no matter how nasty and murky the pond water may be. Now we got the pond drained down. We're ready to start cleaning it. The fish are out. They're all happy and safe over in their temporary home. Notice we sprinkled the Eco Blast on the pond. What that's going to do is that reacts with the algae. We let it sit for about 5 minutes, and it breaks the algae down and gets it basically come off the rocks easier. So we're going to pressure wash starting at the stream all the way down. We're going to pressure wash all the rocks in the pond, just going over it just at a steady pace. And we're going to take that pressure washer nozzle and we're going to churn the gravel up a little bit. All that nasty sludge and debris that's in the gravel, it's going to get mixed up. Again, we're not trying to make the pond crystal clean. We're just trying to knock most of the unsightly algae and some of the organic debris off so the pond can get healthy and get started again. Once we're done pressure washing, then the next step is we're going to take a regular water hose and rinse all that sludge and debris and rinse everything down till it comes nice and clean. We're not using any bleaches, we're not using any cleaners, we're definitely not using anything but just plain old tap water and just knocking this debris down and getting it pond clean. Again, we're not trying to create a sterile environment, we're just trying to get the sludge and debris so we don't have a lot of organic buildup and bad nutrients and stuff that happen that cause string algae and worse yet, fish problems in our pond. Okay, so we told you earlier about replacing the filter pads every time. This is a brand new filter pad. Notice how you can see through it. I don't know if you can see that or not through the sun. Notice how nice and clean it is. This one has actually been pressure washed. And notice it still has that sludge and debris in it. You're not going to get all that out. Also, watch this. If you take it, you can pull it apart real easily. If you go much more than a year with this is going to start breaking apart in your pond and can be dangerous for your fish. With a new mat, really firm, you can't really tear it apart. So even though it may look like it's halfway clean, we recommend just go ahead and replacing it. It's not a whole lot of money, and especially about keeping your fish safe with that. Notice we clean the bioballs off. A lot of people will tell you to rinse them out in a 5-gallon bucket of pond water. That's definitely a good thing to do, but we like when it's really nasty like these bioballs were, we like to just go ahead and pressure wash them off. It takes about a week for the beneficial bacteria to take hold and start going again. This is a custom grate that we use on a lot of our biofalls. For a natural aesthetic, very pleasing looking pond. And by doing that, we're rocking the box in where when you're standing, if you're standing on top of it, obviously you're going to see it, but you're standing 10 to 15 feet away, you really won't see this box at all. It just looks like the water's bubbling out of the ground. Okay, now it's time to put the water and the fish back in the pond. What we have with our clean out tanks is a bottom drain that we just flow it back into. Obviously, if you don't have a tank like we have and use some type of container like a kiddie pool or something like that. Just take your pump, put it down in the pool, and put the water back into the pond. Notice that we only use clear water. Once the water starts getting murky, we stop putting the water into the tank. If by chance your pond water is already green or murky from the winter, obviously you cannot do this. So we're also running the water hose in here as well. You would do this, refill your pond with water out of the tap. From that, you're going to use pond detox. Well, again, what we're doing with the fish in the tank, we can't catch the fish in 1.5 foot of water. You'll chase them for days and days and days. It's a lot of fun for the kids, but it stresses the fish out. So do not try to do that. We're going to drain the water out of here until it gets down to a bare minimum of about 3 or 4 inches in the tank. Then the fish we're going to catch very easily without stressing them out. Put them in a bag with some of the water, and we're going to acclimate them back into the pond for about 15 minutes. If you are doing this with fresh water from the tap, you're going to want to do about 20 minutes. This is not one of those things where 30 is better or 40 is better. The fish will run out of air. You want to make sure you stick with 20 minutes. All we're trying to do is acclimate the fish, temperature-wise, back into the water that's coming out of the tap. When we do this, we will also, after about 10 minutes, splash about 50% of the water out of the bag, put about 50% of the water from the pond back in the bag. Again, just trying to acclimate the fish back into the pond. We're squirting some pond detoxifier into the pond. What this does is it takes all the chromamines and chlorine out of the pond. Just a few squirts will do. 1 squirt per 100 gallons is what the bottle recommends. I always do about double that when I'm doing a clean out, just to make double sure that we get all the chlorine out of there. And we're getting ready to put the fish in. So notice when we're putting the bag into the pond, he's going to take a rock to hold the bag in place. And notice how he's opening it up so it doesn't smother, get some oxygen there. I'll let that sit for about 10 minutes, and we're going to splash a little pond water in there. And then we're going to let the fish go after about another 5 minutes. While the fish are acclimating, you're going to get some of that debris and stuff that floats to the top. So all we're doing here is taking our skimmer net. If you don't have a skimmer net, you definitely need one to not only catch the fish, but to do this type of stuff with. We're just tidying up, cleaning up the pond a little bit. We're going to splash some water into the bag. Again, just trying to do a little 50-50. What that's going to do is mix the chemistry of the new water with what was in the tank. If you kept most of your water, it's probably an unnecessary step. We like to do it anyway, just in case. Our main goal is not just to clean the pond, but also keep the fish nice and safe. Let the fish sit for a few minutes. We're just going to let them go nice and easy. The less you can handle the fish, the better off you are. So what Ricky's going to do, since this is pond water we got the fish in, we're just going to turn the bag upside down and let the fish just kind of swim out nice and easy. Notice the murkiness of the water. Your pond's probably going to be at least this murky, if not a little bit more murky. We're going to start off with some water treatments at the end of this process, and this water will clear up in a day or so, and you'll have a nice crystal clear pond for the year to come.